asking you.
You keep talking.
Why?
Because I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Tell me what your catchphrase would be.
I don't know. Honestly, this whole time, I think I misunderstood what catchphrase was.
What did you think a catchphrase was?
I know what it is. And when you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hardly Working, the show about life, love, labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm SP.
And I'm Kelly.
And this is the second half of the episode from this week. We had so much to give to you that we had to split it into two. But if you're listening, you're in the place to be. We've got unpopular opinions. We've got crazy stories. We've got whatever Kelly's bringing to the table and so much, much more. How have you been since minutes ago, Kelly?
Good.
Good time?
Good.
Talk to your mom on the phone. Put your Benadryl on.
Less itchy with my bug bites.
Yeah, we had to cut it really because we were both getting itchy from our mosquito bites.
I talked to my mom. She called me in the middle of podcast recording, and she had to call me twice because I'm on Do Not Disturb. So she really wanted to talk to me, and I answered the phone, and she was like, "Just wanted to hear your voice."
That is the funny thing about your mom. She'll call you, and if you don't answer, she'll call again. She'll be like, "You didn't answer. I just want to make sure you're okay."
That you weren't dying.
Yeah, because
I get
that's
it.
the only thing that could
I
be
think
happening.
I'll be that mom too.
Me too. I'm already that.
I'm
parent.
already that wife.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you didn't answer. I know that I'm one of the people that goes through.
That's right.
But no, yeah, she's just checking in. Her
Love
and
it.
dad are just having a great day, it sounds like.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
And I hope that the people who are listening to these episodes back to back know that we're going to jump into it. We're
Yep.
skipping the intro. We're going straight into the content. Kelly, what you got, girl?
Well, this week I thought to myself, how well do our listeners, viewers, hardly working people, I don't know what to call them, fans.
People who hardly work.
How well do they really know us?
Yeah, not that well, I would imagine.
So I put together a list of questions to help them learn a little bit about us.
It's time for a little bit about us.
Getting to know us.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm also going to answer, I think.
Can I redo the bumper?
Yeah.
It's time for getting to know us.
Why is it always?
I don't know. It just works.
Okay.
Give the people what they want. The people are me.
That's true. All right. I'm coming in hot and heavy for this first one. Real
Dang.
strong.
Let's get it, girl.
What is...
Okay.
What? What?
I'm coming in heavy. What? That's
Just
it.
what?
Just what?
What? What has been your favorite breakfast meal ever that you've ever had?
Oh, this is ever?
Yeah.
Look, get to know me, everyone. That my brain just doesn't work in terms of favorites. That's just not
I
how
do know
it
that.
works.
But there is a lot of favorites in this. So you got to like really think about it.
Okay, but here's the deal. Breakfast is the best time of the day, of the meal calendar. It's the best. Why? Because you can have savory things. Why? Because you can have sweet things. Why? Because you can put them together. Why? Because you can move breakfast to dinner and be just fine with dinner. Breakfast is the best. Is it the most important? No. That's just a lie that Kellogg's told you. But is it the best? Yes.
Yeah.
So what my favorite breakfast is, maybe I can come up with it as I talk.
You can have two if you want. Like one maybe that you like is like the one you make at home, and then one that's like, oh, this is the best breakfast I've had at a place.
That's so tricky because I'll be honest, most breakfasts at a place are not that great. We go to a place that may or may not be called something like Joseph's, and it's always good. It's always very expensive, but it's always not mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like Joseph.
it's Joe's.
Yeah, Joe's Cafe.
So close.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good,
Yeah.
but it's expensive and it's okay.
Okay.
If you go to the lower echelon of stores, the most readily accessible things like Denny's and IHOP or IHOP. If you're in Boston, it's called IHOP. You drive your car there, get some water, go to the IHOP. It's not great. It's
Okay.
very generic.
So what is? You got to give me something.
Yes,
You told me
okay.
all the things you don't like and none of the things you do.
I will give you two.
Okay.
The first one is this. I don't want to spoil any unpopular opinions, but one of the things we talked about in our polls that you haven't heard has to do with fast food breakfast.
Okay.
So let me start there.
Ooh.
I think the best fast food breakfast, and I know I'm going to get some crap for this, is McDonald's, and it is
It is pretty good.
their sausage McMuffin without the egg, because there's something weird about the gelatinous slimy egg that is not for me. But the sausage, cheese, and I was going to call it a McMuffin. The, what do they call it? English muffin. An English McMuffin. Those are the best. And sometimes you get them like 2 for $3 or something, and you can eat 2, or you can give your partner a second one, whatever it is. They are 400 calories each, so maybe cool it a little bit, but they are delicious. But let me tell you my favorite breakfast.
Okay.
Because my favorite breakfast is actually dinner, and it's breakfast for dinner, and it's Brenner.
That's pretty great.
It is so freaking good. And our go-to, you probably already know this because you're married to me, it's a blueberry bagel toasted with cream cheese. With bacon, cheese, and eggs.
Yes. Mostly egg whites, but we'll do eggs sometimes.
Egg whites. Yeah, I don't care as much about that. You're a big egg white person. I'm totally fine. I'm not a big egg person in general, but I don't care about the difference. So that's what it is. It's a breakfast sandwich on a bagel with the listed set ingredients. Yeah. That's probably my go-to. But for some reason, I think it's because of the time of day, it seems better at night.
Okay.
It's a lot of work to make eggs, to make bacon. It's always an endeavor.
It's so good, though.
To toast the bagels, to do that in the morning. You're trying to go to school. You're trying to go to work. Whatever that you do in the morning, it's just a lot in the morning. But at nighttime, it's the right time for breakfast. For dinner. That's my answer. What about you? What's your favorite breakfast?
Okay, I have like a couple different categories. And that's
oh my gosh,
terrible.
I gave you one great answer. Now you've got
it
multiple.
took you a long time to get there. I just need you to know.
lot.
And you gave me 2 answers. So let's just say that. Yeah. But by far, hands down, when I think about going to like sit down, eat breakfast at like a restaurant, and I'm talking about like not fast food. I'm talking about if you're going to go sit and eat somewhere. Joe's is great. I do love Joe's. This is going to be the widest answer I've ever given. And I know it. Cracker Barrel. They do something to their pancakes. Like they're crispy every time. They're crispy and fluffy. Like I don't get it. It's so good. And we don't go very often because the closest one to us is in Camarillo, but
which we haven't even been to.
No, we haven't been to. We've been on the way to Vegas, but it's just really good.
The first time I went to Cracker Barrel with a friend of mine, we were in a different state. I guess we were in, I don't remember, Philadelphia, I guess. I guess I've been there. I don't know, weird time in my life. We were doing a gig for some college where we were DJing and we went to Cracker Barrel and it was awesome. We got like an assortment of stuff. And the best thing, I don't remember if it was my buddy's idea or my idea, but we all ordered what we wanted. And then at the end, we ordered a pancake to finish. Yeah. And it was the way to go.
Chef's kiss.
It was perfect. It had a crispy edge, soft center. It was dessert. It was the dessert for your breakfast.
It's really good.
Here's my problem with Cracker Barrel, though. And I have to give credit where credit's due. Okay. They seem to be progressing with the times, like many companies are.
Their one Pride rocking chair that they posted.
The one Pride rocking chair.
They're really progressive.
They're rocking and rolling over there. But hey, that's more than some people do.
That's just true.
But there is something that is outside of my comfort zone being at a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, I hear that. That's why I said what I said. But they're pancakes.
Yeah.
Real good.
Here's the deal. I think that the way some people feel about Chick-fil-A is how I feel about Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Can't argue about the food being good, but I don't like what they stand for. Yeah. Which, Cracker Barrel, not a sponsor, and I'm not here to belittle or demean anybody. I don't know where you stand on things. But there's just a certain vibe you get from Cracker Barrel.
I understand.
That isn't necessarily inclusive.
Yeah, I get it. But they're pancakes.
But they're pancakes.
You want to hear the rest of mine?
Kind of.
We can move on.
No. Tell me the rest of yours.
I have some runner-ups.
Okay.
Because it's true. Listen, I worked at Chick-fil-A for 10 years. And some of the best breakfasts I've ever had. Chicken for breakfast is a great choice, especially a spicy chicken biscuit.
And to clarify, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but to clarify, most people have a misconception about Chick-fil-A.
That's true.
Our experience has been very inclusive, very loving, and not what the norm has been. I understand
what Dan said.
The viewpoint, totally. That's not what the franchise owners believe. That's not been your experience with some of the awesome owners you've worked with, owner operators you've worked with. Yeah. But also, it is the general consensus. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I hear that.
Shout out to Mandy and Travis, who we love, and we know are very loving, inclusive people that we miss dearly.
Yeah, and Lindsay.
And Lindsay, who we don't miss because you still live here.
You still live here,
but we do still love you.
Yeah. But I do love their biscuits. I agree with you about McDonald's. That is like something when we're on the road going somewhere, we will get a sausage and cheese muffin. But I have a thing for breakfast burritos.
Oh, you got to think. Oh,
Yeah,
I know where this is going.
You do?
Is it going to Jack in the Box?
No.
I just derailed you and rerouted you to Jack in the Box.
No, although
Okay.
that is really good. Could never eat it more than once in like a year.
That's because it's 1,200 calories for breakfast.
Yeah, you definitely is shareable with maybe 5 people because it's a lot. No, but I love. So this is what happens when you talk about home breakfast meals:
Yes.
bagel, cream cheese, bacon, egg, cheese. It's like what we do because we all love it. You, me, and Brooklyn. It's so good. We'll even order that at like Noah's Bagels and all the things or whatever.
Einstein Bros. Yeah.
So good. But a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Like that is something that I think I just like lean towards. You get some egg whites in there with some salsa, with some avocado and some cheese.
Truth be told,
It's so good.
You make a great breakfast burrito.
Thank you.
We don't do it like very
It's
frequently.
very good though.
But it's very good. Here's my thing about breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a good one.
Yeah.
And that's
why
why
I make it at home.
That's why you make it at home. But that's also why Jack in the Box, it's like a meatinator or something.
Yeah.
Like it's something terrible. It's delicious.
Yeah.
But there should be a better fast food breakfast burrito, especially in Southern California.
Here's what I know. This is what I think, and this is like my firm belief. Which
Okay,
makes
tell
it
me
real.
your worldview.
Well, I think like when I think about fast food breakfast, because that's where we went towards, even though there are some really great sit down breakfast places. I think I don't like fast food breakfast as much because in the same way that I feel like we make a better steak at home, I think we make better eggs at home. I don't think that restaurants have figured out how to make good, even sit down restaurants, good enough eggs. I think you make them better at home in the same way that like, yes, like Mastro's and Ruth's Chris is good, but like the steak is never going to be as good as like what you make at home.
It's like growing up when you went to camp and they had eggs and you
Yeah.
were like, this isn't eggs. These
Yeah.
are like powdered eggs.
Yeah.
Or even some buffets, like if you're at a nice hotel and they have a buffet
which
breakfast.
should be non-existent anymore. Just for I know they still exist, but
Yeah.
they should not be a thing anymore.
Side note, we went to a restaurant today.
We left the restaurant today.
We did leave. We went, and it's a restaurant we've been to before, and we like it. And I guess they're doing Sunday brunch, which is totally cool. And they had a buffet, and that was the only way you could get it. It was like 9 a.m. to 2 o'clock. You could only do buffets. First of all, that's like 5 hours of buffet food. Not
No, thank
every
you.
piece of food is going to be taken and replaced. Some of that stuff has been sitting out
It
for
should
5
be.
hours.
It should be.
It should be, but
For the
it's
health
not.
department.
It's not. But we walked in there. It was shrimp. It was ceviche. It was other fish things. It was like,
No thanks.
yeah, it was I don't know if this is a post-COVID world or a current COVID world, but whatever it is, since COVID has happened, buffets are kind of off the table for me.
Yeah.
They just don't seem appealing anymore.
Yeah.
So we went there and we ended up, like Kelly said, leaving and going to another
Which
restaurant,
was really good.
which we pulled up to, and ironically was doing brunch as well.
But you could order off the menu.
Yes, which is what we did. And that's why we're a few margaritas in.
Ooh.
Anyway, fast food breakfast
I said
and
all my
breakfast in
thoughts.
general. You said all
I
your
said
thoughts.
eggs
and I
are better
think-
at home than just in the same way that steaks are better at
And
home.
that's why we solved it. And that's why I was very much paying attention and totally able to make that seamless transition.
Moral of the story is if you haven't tried a Cracker Barrel pancake,
Do it.
you should just go for the pancake.
Or buy it online.
pancake mix. It's pretty good at
You
home,
can make
too.
it at home and feel less shame.
But it's delicious.
It is delicious.
All right. Second question. Are you ready?
Yeah, I was born ready. Freaking so ready.
What is your favorite season and why? I'm not talking about season of shows. I'm talking about like
Okay.
seasons.
Yeah, to steal something from a comedian who escapes me who it is. He was like, everyone's like, I love seasons. I just miss seasons. I couldn't live in California. And he was like, yeah, I love seasons too. That's why I live in a place that skips all the crappy ones. It's not exactly what he said, but pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Might have been Jim Gaffigan. I don't know. But shout out to whoever that was. My favorite season, that's weird because we basically in Southern California where we live, we have summer and we have like summer light. We have diet summer.
Yeah.
Which we call winter.
Yeah.
I think we had like 4 days of rain last year.
We had a lot more rain this year, though.
5 days.
No.
5
Like
whole days.
months of rain.
We did not
The
have
top-
months of
the top
uninterrupted
of the
rain.
year was gloomy until about June.
Yeah, here's what I know is that Have you heard the term like hair trigger?
Yeah.
Which means like a very delicate
Yeah.
trigger that can be set off by anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel emotionally in my life usually.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to paint myself as a crazy, unhinged person, but if I lived someplace like Seattle that was doom and gloom and rain all the time, I'm not built for that. You're telling me to shush Seattle? Seattle can handle it.
I know what you're about to say.
What am I about to say?
Keep going.
No,
I
I'm
wanna hear
not
it.
going to harm myself.
Okay, thank you.
Is that what you thought? I just don't think I could handle it. And this is coming from a person who did spend a year in beautiful, scenic, boring, horrible, don't ever go there, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh.
And while I was there, we were met with the hottest summer I've ever experienced, which bled into September, where you take a shower, you'd walk outside, feel like you're back in the shower because the humidity was so terrible, and my hair can't handle that kind of humidity. Followed quickly by something I had never heard bestorm, which will make a lot of sense in about 10 seconds. I had never heard bestorm, frozen ice storms. I didn't know that that was weather.
Yeah.
So imagine in December, we're studying for finals. Everything is frozen over because if you've never experienced frozen rain, it's rain that comes down. This is probably not true. Rain that comes down and freezes, hits whatever it is and freezes that area. The road,
I don't think that's what it
buildings.
I don't
I'm
think
a
it
scientist.
freezes in the air.
Well, let me tell you what
Okay,
happened
keep
to
going.
me.
Yeah, tell
I don't
the
know
story.
how it works, but I do remember two things very vividly. The first was this: trying to go to my car in the parking lot, going to open said car door, and I couldn't. You want to know why? Because my car
Frozen
was
ice.
an ice cube. It was literally frozen shut. And no one told me I needed an ice beater or whatever you call those things that break off the ice from car windows and doors. I didn't have that. Guess what? I just couldn't go anywhere. That was the first thing.
and
Second
that's
thing,
how we flunked out of college.
that's how one of us flunked out of college because I have a degree in frozen ice storms. Second thing, when frozen ice hits power lines, it explodes the transformers on there. Those big like things that look like trash cans on telephone
Transformer,
poles. More
robots
than meets
in
the.
dis-
It
Oh.
blew up and we lost all power.
I was singing the robots in disguise part.
It was not a robot in disguise. You know why? Because it was frozen shut.
That's
that
true.
transformer wasn't going anywhere.
All right, so what's your favorite
And
season?
three, the third and worst part of this is when you're in college, you live with stupid people who pull the fire alarm for fun 8 or 9 times a night during finals, where you have to leave the top floor of your dorm, which was probably 12, walk down the stairs 20 times in a night to go and be in the freezing rain. And by the time you were done with it, by time 10, you just got under your bed. You hid because people checked your rooms to make sure they were out. But forget that. Forget Tulsa, forget Oklahoma, and forget the college that I went to that I won't say.
Oh my gosh.
So my favorite season
Is I should have come up with less questions. I'm
Seriously.
learning.
My favorite
Favorite
season
season.
is summer because it's the only one that I can handle.
All right,
Yes,
Phineas
it's the
and Ferb.
hottest. Yeah, summer, 104 days of summer vacation, baby.
Yeah.
Summer is the only season that matters. Now, with that said, by the time we're here in September, I'm happy and excited for fall. Fall is good, but it's really not a season.
I mean,
Honestly, fall is what life is for us. It's like 75 degrees and beautiful most of the time.
okay.
So I don't know if my answer is fall or summer, but I get excited for summer. Hanging out with my kid, not working as much, not dealing with the depressing rain and clouds. I'm here for it. So I'm sure that you have a very long answer too, right?
My answer is I like fall and winter.
I don't know how we're even still married.
Summer's too hot for me. I like swimming. I like being in the pool. I'm definitely and was growing up. I was a fish. I liked being in the pool, but it's too hot. 104 is too hot.
Try like 116 in
I
Arizona.
know. I don't live in Arizona. I live in California, so I can only go based off of what's here. I wasn't built for the snow, and I wasn't built for the hot. I was built for sweater weather.
Oh, like the candle.
Like my favorite candle. Yeah, from Bath and Body Works. Not a sponsor. It's right.
Side note, can I talk about candles for a sec?
100% fall.
You couldn't stop me if you wanted to.
No, I couldn't.
If you don't have a candle warmer in your house, Craig, if you don't have a candle warmer yet,
Craig and Troy.
yeah, you get one because
Or we'll
it will
get you one.
save your, you know what? Forget it. Delete this. Take it out. It's still in. We're going to get you a candle warmer.
It's the best thing ever.
Candles are freaking expensive. And
Yeah.
we burn them so frequently that they go away. These candle warmers, we have one here in the studio. We have one at our house.
Mm-hmm.
It will put Bed, Bath, and Body Works. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Bath
No,
and Body Works
Bath and
out of
Body Works, yeah.
business because your candle will last forever. You're going to live forever. You're going to live to fly.
All right. So my answer is fall.
And get a candle warmer.
Get a candle warmer. But yeah, fall to winter because I like decorating.
I like
with
decorating
like
too.
warm, and those are my colors. Like those warm colors are my colors.
Yep. If you're not watching it, we talked about it before. We've got some fall decorations. And as we
coming.
get further into fall, we're going to have more and more pumpkins, more and more spice, more and more everything nice.
All right,
It's gonna be
Powerpuff
great.
Girls. The references today.
This is going
Are you
crazy.
ready for my next question?
Born ready. Let's get it, girl.
I'm regretting the questions that I put. I just need everyone to know.
I love that you're not just quietly editing them out. You're like, I am committed to the bit.
I am editing some of them out, but some of them are still good.
Girl, we got time.
If you
Keep
had
them
a
in.
catchphrase,
One more time.
if you had a catchphrase, what would it be?
Boom goes the dynamite. Not in this house. Don't go there, girlfriend.
All of these are your catchphrases?
She said, what? I would have so many catchphrases. I missed that. Like, I wasn't in the industry when catchphrases were popular. But I'm here for, if you're not watching it, you can't tell that Kelly is just dying off camera.
What is happening?
I'm ready for catchphrases.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what would be my catchphrase?
Your catchphrase? I don't know. What's your catchphrase, girl?
I'm asking you.
I kid you not. Hold on.
That was
You
kind
talk.
of that was kind of like whiny. You know what I mean? I'm asking you.
You keep talking
Why?
because I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Tell me what your catchphrase is.
I don't know. Honestly, this whole time I think I misunderstood what catchphrase was.
What did you think a catchphrase was?
I know what it is. And when you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's totally what a catchphrase is. I think it was like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, like, what would you use if you're telling people, like, about you? Like, this is what you need to know. That's my catchphrase. That's not what a catchphrase is because I'm an idiot.
So
Not really.
Wait, I'm not understanding this.
I was like, my catchphrase is, I'm really fun and lovey and cuddly, but I might cry. But that's not a catchphrase.
That's like what you are.
I know.
That's what you're about.
That's what I've been thinking it was all of today. But
No, it's
I
like, who'd you talking about, Willis?
yeah, I know. I know that now. You literally said it, and I was like, duh. That's what a catchphrase
So
is.
you had a totally wrong read on the question as a whole.
Yeah.
The question you wrote.
Yeah, I didn't.
Great.
I didn't write it. I found it, but yes.
Okay, so the reason I had you stall, and you did a great job.
Thanks.
Great job. Is because I'm pretty sure, oh gosh, I took it out. So in your phone, you can, like when you make a contact for yourself,
I know what my catchphrase is. Okay, keep going. Make
Okay.
a contact for yourself.
you can write in the notes
Yep.
stuff about you.
Yeah,
So
who'd you learn that from? It's really cool.
I don't know, some guy, some handsome, remarkable, valiant man named Troy. But to be fair, I had written some of this before, but he really changed my life on some of this stuff
Yeah.
for sure. But I had
You should teach me because I don't have that in my phone.
before, well, go talk to Troy. He's got all the deets. So I used to have funny things in the notes. So when you share your contact, it shares all the things.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like DJ, host, entertainer, semi-professional nap taker, like
Yeah.
like silly stuff. And one of the things was in there was that I came up with the phrase, "Don't go there, girlfriend," but rarely receive credit for it, which I thought was funny because
Don't go there, girlfriend.
admittedly, I stole that from a Comedy Sports, which is it's improv out here in LA.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan, whose dad started Comedy Sports in San Francisco, and I love Ryan. For all of the performers, improvisers, they would have their name and then like something funny, like
Yeah.
Jim Bailey watches Titanic every night, hoping that Jack will survive. Like there was always
Yeah.
funny things, and one of the people's things was like random phrase that they created.
Never get credit
Never
for.
get credit for. So I took that and put it in there. It wasn't until I was sending my info to professional people that I had to change it.
Yeah, it's good.
But that would probably be my fake one. What's yours? And then I'll tell you what mine probably is in real life.
I think mine is probably like, yes, queen. Because I think I say that a lot. Or yes, bitch.
Oh,
Which,
it's now an
sorry.
explicit
Is
content.
Did I just ruin that?
You ruined it.
Sorry.
No,
But I think I go, yes, queen, a lot. I say that to our kid a ton.
That's true. Our kid didn't like that at first when she was real young.
And now she's
she
like,
likes it.
yes, queen.
I think we say let's go a lot.
It's this. You can't see it, but it's.
Oh, yeah. It's 3 fingers up and the tongue out for Brooklyn. It's time for the freaking weekend comes up a lot.
But that's a weekend catchphrase. Like you wouldn't say that on a Tuesday.
The 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I save my. It's freaking Tuesday. That's my catchphrase.
Okay, give me for real though.
You know what?
Because I think that fits me. I think yes, queen is probably probably old and outdated, but I say it a lot.
I think my catchphrase is just the confetti popper emoji, because that's what's used in most of my stuff.
Probably true.
Or my catchphrase is sounds good. Because that's what I say all the time via text. Just look at my text, you'll get my catchphrases.
That's probably true.
But for right now, it's don't go there, girlfriend.
Don't go there, girlfriend. I'm glad you came up with that.
Thank you.
Giving you credit. Okay, is there a movie that you can start midway through and still enjoy?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't know. Is there a movie that... Okay, so...
You can't just say yes and then I don't know.
I was confident that there was a movie that I could start halfway through. So I mentioned this earlier. My brain just doesn't file and sort information in terms of favorites. So I don't really have like a favorite movie or TV show or food.
It doesn't have to be your favorite movie. It's
Totally.
just any movie.
But the two are close for me. It has to be something that you really like in order to just start it. But we also don't live in the time anymore where it's like, oh, this movie was on TV. I just jumped in and watched it on TNT.
That's true.
Like
you can start it from wherever now on all of your streaming platforms.
Yeah, which ultimately I think causes most of us to not watch anything. But I will say this. I've realized within the last 3 years, one of my favorite recent movies that I feel like I could jump into is a movie that most people have probably never heard of. Okay. You have because you've seen it. But it's Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
That is one I think you could start at any point and you'd be like so happy.
It is so good.
Barb and Star Go to Del Mar.
Go to Vista Del Mar.
Vista Del Mar.
It is so freaking funny.
It is really funny.
If you liked the Austin Powers movies, basically any of the 90s, 2000s movies and trilogies. So Austin Powers, the Shanghai Nights, Shanghai Noon duo. I think it's just 2 movies. Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3. If you liked that stuff, this is that like silly type of humor. Yeah. And I love that. By the way, we should do a segment later that's rewatching those old movies because Kelly and I just watched
Austin Powers.
Yeah, the three Austin Powers movies.
It got better as it went on.
It holds up.
Yeah, it does.
There's some stuff that doesn't.
It's not very PC. Yeah, I was like, ooh.
It's still good though.
Yeah.
So I think my answer for now would be Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. Okay. What about you?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
That is definitely one of the answers for you.
For movies?
Yeah. Like I know that's one of your answers, but you must have a couple that you can do that too.
I would say it's more series for me. Like I could watch, you could put on any episode of Bones and I probably know what's going on and be able to watch it all the way through and like still be able to like know it. But How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days for some reason is just one of my favorite movies. Yeah. It has been. I don't know why. I just think it's so funny. And I really wanted her yellow dress to be my prom dress, but I couldn't find it. So I didn't do that.
That would have been cute.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know that
your body type is not the same as Kate Hudson's.
I do know that. And I don't know that.
You would struggle with that.
I don't know that yellow is my color.
It might be, but you are.
I would be better with it now than I would have in high school. As I've broken out of my shell a little bit, but yeah, that is like the movie for me. There's probably some like, I'm a big like Hallmark Christmas movie watcher too. There's some of those Christmas movies with like Vanessa Hudgens that came out.
I'm confident that you keep Hallmark Christmas in business.
I do watch.
We did a game for a corporate Christmas party once that was like real or fake Christmas movies, and it was like a title and a plot. Yeah, Kelly got them all right because she had seen all of these movies.
Yeah, so even the ridiculous ones, I was like, oh yeah, that's real because I saw it.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
She's seen like The Christmas Baker 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
She's seen it all. Was that Selena Gomez?
Vanessa Hudgens? That's Vanessa Hudgens. I don't know that it's called The Christmas Baker, but yeah, it's like this Princess Switch or whatever, and she's made 3 of it. 3 movies.
You
It's really
have a
good.
Christmas
Hope to make
movie
another one. I don't know
problem.
what else they could do, but it's great. But any of those I could. Harry Potter, any Harry Potter movie I could come into in the middle and be like, yeah, I'm good. Let's go. I already know what happened and I read the book, so I'm in it.
I do miss Harry Potter weekends on television.
Yeah, we could have our own Harry Potter weekend, babe.
I know, but I think this is true that now that everything is so accessible, it's not special anymore.
I still think it's special.
But it was exciting
Love
when
Harry
you're
Potter.
like, whatever it was, ABC Family at the time was
Yeah.
like, it's a Harry Potter weekend. Like, that's great. We're just going to put on
They
a movie.
still do that, just for the record. We just don't have cable and we don't watch TV.
Yeah,
but
most
they
people don't
do
have
that.
cable.
And every now and then they'll have it on like whatever streaming platform owns it. I think it's HBO. I'm not really sure. But they'll like be like, it's Harry Potter, blah, blah. And it's like all of them. And you can like put it on and it'll play them all the way through.
Okay. But let me just ask this.
Okay.
What's more exciting? Me going, Kel, it's a Harry Potter weekend. Or, Kel, do you want to put on one of the Harry Potter movies that we have readily available at HBO Max anytime
Probably
we want
it's
to?
a Harry Potter weekend.
Yes,
Like when we're
because
in the
there was something
hotel rooms.
special. Yeah.
It plays sometimes and I get excited. But I think I get excited because it's familiar and I know it. And so I can put it on in the middle and watch it all the way through.
So there it is.
There it is.
How to Lose Harry Potter in 10 days.
Yep. In 10 movies.
10 movies, yeah. Would you be happy with a rebooted Harry Potter that they're doing?
They are rebooting it. I don't know. There is something, this is going to get real nerdy. So I read all the books multiple times. I really love the Harry Potter series. I read the first book. I got it for Christmas one year and I read it before the end of the day. And
You read it in a day?
Less than that because we had to go through all of Christmas morning. And then I read the whole book, the whole first book. And I remember my mom was like, you already read it? Well, I think the 4th book had been released at that point in time. She's like, I guess we got to go get the other ones. But it was very much like, there's only 4 out and there's supposed to be like way more.
Yeah, because she was still writing them as people were reading them.
Yeah.
What a weird
Isn't
time.
that crazy?
Yeah, we just live
It's
in
like
such
doesn't exist anymore.
a binge culture of like, here's all 8 episodes.
Yeah. But that was like a really cool time to be alive. But I read all the books. So there is something really exciting about having a series that can really add more things that the movies like took out. Like I remember, and I, like in my brain, I'm like, am I making this up? But I remember there was like a whole scene with all of the, in the books, there was a whole like thing about the house elves.
Yeah, of course.
Like, and them working in like a kitchen at Hogwarts and like Hermione, like being really
okay.
like protective of them. None of that is in the movie. You only have Dobby. That's it, which I love Dobby. Don't get
There's
me wrong.
a couple other ones. You know that building that you built in Legos that opens up to be a bigger building? There's some creepy elf in there.
Creature. He's
Yeah, Creature. What a terrible name.
belongs to the Black family. Yeah. And but
sorry.
hated Sirius Black. Black family, yeah.
Weird.
I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
that's
I'm sorry.
inappropriate.
If you're a Harry Potter nerd,
Yeah.
Sirius Black, and he hated Sirius Black because he, whatever. But yeah, so I am excited for the potential of what they could do with that because I'd love to see more of like what's in the books come to life there. But it is a little bit of like losing my childhood in some ways because these characters you fell in love with, and it was in the time when it wasn't normal to have the same person play the same character all the way through. It was like one of the first kind of movies. Obviously Lord of the Rings did it too, but it was one of kind of the first movies that did that it was important that the same characters played themselves throughout the whole thing, or like the same character. So I am excited, but I'm also like, oh, like it's kind of the death of an era. And I know that Tom Felton was cast in it as Lucius Malfoy, which I'm really excited about. He's going to play his dad.
As a kid?
Because
Older kid?
Tom Felton
In
played
his 30s?
Draco,
yeah.
and his dad was Lucius Malfoy, and he got cast as Lucius Malfoy. So he's playing
He
the
must
dad
be
to
so
his
happy
character.
to have a gig.
I know, but how cool is that? He worked a lot before Harry Potter.
He was so young. How could he have worked a lot?
I don't know, but I listened.
He was like 8.
I'm in the middle of his biography. So, and he was older than that. He was actually one of the older ones on set.
Yeah, he's gotten his life back together, which is very cool for him.
Good for him. Anyways.
Wait, let me ask you this. So when I grew up, just like you're talking about, we were used to having different people, different actors and actresses play the same character. Like when I grew up as a Batman fan, we had Clooney, we had Kilmer, we had, his name escapes me right now, from the McDonald's movie. Oh my gosh. And he was in Spider-Man, Kevin Costner. I'm so sorry. People
That's
are
okay.
yelling what it is right now.
Tell
and
us in the comments.
So sorry. But we were used to it. And you were just like, okay, that's Batman now.
Yeah.
And now everything is continuity.
Yeah. Yep.
If you don't have the same actor, you're like, sorry, we killed that person off or whatever. Do you think we're better off? Is it better to have that necessity of continuity?
I think it helps you get lost in the story more than maybe before. That's really what I think. So yes, but all that to say, I'm excited about it. I hope I can get lost in it as much as I get lost in the Harry Potter movies and the Harry Potter films, but I'm excited for what they'll do and what they'll bring in from the books that didn't quite make it to the movies.
I think it's weird that we haven't seen The Cursed Child. Is it The Cursed Child or The Cursed Child?
It's The Cursed Child.
Michael Keaton, by the way.
Yeah.
That is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, The Founder, that's the McDonald's movie I was thinking of. Michael Keaton.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about like the Hamburglar or something like that. I was like, what McDonald's movie are you talking
remember
about?
when the Hamburglar played Batman? He was like, rapper, rapper, rapper.
Well, there was like little like clips or movies of that, like
of
animated.
the Hamburglar?
Yeah, animated ones.
Okay, well, you're going to have to show me that.
We'll have to go back in time and find them. But anyways, I don't know.
Cursed Child.
I hope they make it into a movie, but they've only made it into a play thus far, so I don't know.
If it's still in San Francisco, we should go.
Okay.
And if there's any diehard fans that want to fly to San Francisco,
and join us, let us know.
It's a full day experience, though. But we can fly from Burbank to San Fran.
Yep.
And usually they split it up into 2 days, but we can do it all in one day.
Yeah, we talked about doing this in London, but I didn't want to lose a whole day.
When you're in London, there's better things to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just pick maybe 2 more.
Sure, whatever you want.
Go to your stuff because I know you're waiting to talk to me about your stuff. Okay, what?
Yes, I am.
Are there any funny stories that your family tells about you that come to mind? We'll say story. Give me one story.
Yeah, the thing that immediately comes to mind is Fatty Patty. Most of the time, my family considers me Fatty Patty, which I didn't realize how emotionally damaging that was until middle school. But I was a big baby, like roly-poly kind of baby. And I was
cute is what we call that, with all the rolls.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't cute when I was 12.
When they called you Fatty Patty, yeah.
But also, it was like right before a growth spurt in middle school. And I had just gone on a trip with my mom where I had gained weight. And I was like, frankly, I was kind of how I am now. I was a little doughy. But
don't say that.
I remember there was a family member of mine that was taking pictures like normal, and we had been swimming during the summer, and I was sitting in a chair kind of like this, and they took a picture of me without a shirt on, and it was not a flattering picture. It was a fattering picture. And long story short, my cousin brought that photo to school.
Oh gosh.
And my cousin was best friends with this girl that I had a crush on and showed it to her. She, the girl I had a crush on, was dating the coolest, most popular guy who she also showed these photos to. And it was like the end of the world.
I'm so sorry.
It was not fun. Was the question embarrassing experience or terrible story that my family tells?
Funny stories that your family tells about you?
Oh, a funny one. Well, this is a terrible one. I'll tell you a couple different ones. So there's that, which was traumatizing and probably contributes to my body dysmorphia. No, that's not fair because I do not have body dysmorphia. I just have a bad relationship with my body. You think that you do, and you might.
If you could put body dysmorphia on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being like really bad, I'm probably a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, so you're on the spectrum of it. Yeah, I'm probably somewhere there too.
Yeah.
We should just love our bodies and love ourselves.
Yeah, we should. I'm working on it.
Isn't it crazy that
every day
our brains won't let us do that?
Yeah.
Our brains won't be like, oh, cool, you're fine. No, they're like, no, Cosmo magazine says you're a fatty.
Yeah, I also wish our bodies would be like, hey, you're 30-something years old now. You're not 18 anymore. So you don't have to fit into the same clothes you wore when you were in high school. But my brain
talk about that.
doesn't process through that.
I still wear the same shirt size and the same pant size in high school.
That you wore
from high school, yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
When do we let go of that? When do we just say like, hey, that's not life in our my mid 30s?
I don't know. I was talking about this with my friend Andy at some point in time where it was like, you just have to buy yourself new clothes and love your body. And at some point in time, I did buy myself some different cut shirts. And like pant sizes fluctuate depending on how high or how low you have them. And I'm very aware of that. But I don't know. Did I answer your question? But it is about loving your body and learning how to be like, my body's working really hard to keep me alive and to do things for me. And I'm getting older and that's okay.
Yeah.
But doesn't change the fact that I'm on the spectrum of body dysmorphia. Probably.
I think the worst part of this, and let me backtrack because that's insane. I think the weirdest part of this, that's better, is that like you and I are in a very healthy, loving relationship.
Yeah.
Where we're both very attracted to the other person.
Yes.
And confidently and honestly say like, you look great. And I love the way that you look.
All
and
the
I'm
time.
attracted to the way that you look. And I desire you.
Yeah.
But it falls on deaf ears.
Well, it's funny.
Both ways.
I think we both know that. And at the same time, we're both very supportive of like, I know that you're not happy with like the way you look right now. Like we're going to eat better. We're going to exercise. We're going to do this stuff. So I think we're both supportive and encouraging. It's a very weird place to be. It's a lovely place to be. I feel very lucky. But
my point really is like, that's the person, aside from yourself, that's the person that it matters to.
Yeah.
Like, am I still appealing to my significant other? Who cares what random person on the internet or at the hotel pool thinks?
yeah, that's true.
But somehow we give, well, that's the thing is like we give them so much power in our life. I think one of the things that I heard, not just about this, but overall that's really stuck with me is don't give an important opinion to someone in the cheap seats of your life.
Yeah.
Like don't let some random stranger be this is a great example. Remember our kid came up to us this week and she was like,
Oh, she started crying.
yeah, she was like,
I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, and this was like, it was so dramatic, and it was right before bedtime, so it was probably more of a ploy than anything. But she was like, I was wearing my cat ears at school, and some kid was like, "Hey, party girl," and I was like, "Hey, please don't call me party girl. I don't like that." And he went, "Hey, party girl," and then he hit me, which he didn't. He like
pushed her,
bopped, like, "Hey, party girl." But she was like, "I don't like being called party girl." Admittedly, this is she's only had so many experiences in her life where people have said something to her or about her that she's heard and been like, "I don't like it."
Yeah,
but
I was like, "Have you ever been called party girl before?" And she's like, "No, but I didn't like it." I was like, "Fair."
Right, and that's all normal part of living and learning what's okay and not okay, or what you like or don't like. But it's one of those things where it's like, who did it? She's like, I don't know who he was.
It's like a first grader.
Yeah, even younger than her.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then why do you care? And it's easy to give that advice. Be like, don't care about that person's opinion of you. And we deal with it too. Even like the comments we get on videos on the internet, like I shouldn't care what people are commenting, but some reason it bothers me.
It bothers you, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm not sure how we spiraled into this. I actually know exactly how we did because you asked me my fun stories from childhood.
And you told me an
I gave you my
embarrassing
shaming
one.
story. But it is interesting to me that we give so much weight to strangers' opinions, as well as this is a big thing that I've learned in the last 3 years. There is a disconnect between your head and your heart. Like your heart, I think, wants to give everything away, wants to love people and love yourself. And your head or the ego or whatever you want to call it is the thing that's like, you're not going to have enough money. You're never going to make it.
Yeah.
You're fat. You're ugly. No one's ever going to love. You're unlovable. You're unworthy. People hate you. That's your brain.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from a survival standpoint, but there is a discrepancy between what I think is head and heart knowledge. Head knowledge is like, I know this. Heart knowledge is, I believe this. And it's so weird that we can't oftentimes connect the two to actually believe the things.
Yeah, it's really crappy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work that way.
It's great commentary on that whole
So
point.
we talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
And not that I am choosing not to say anything. I'm saying I don't know that I can add anything that would make it better. I just agree with you. I don't know why our brain and our hearts can't match up.
Yeah. Do you have a funny childhood story?
I do.
Okay. Does it involve a diving board?
It's no, that's not funny. That was just painful.
Yeah.
It was a funny story that your family tells about you. There is one story that my family will continue to tell about me till the day that I die.
Give me a hint.
I was little. It had to do with a closet and vegetables.
I mean, I can see where this might be going, but I don't know this story.
So, growing up in my household, you could not get up from the table until you ate all the food on your plate.
Sure.
That was like what it was.
Very common.
We had a dog for a while. Sometimes she, Brandy, she'd get more food than maybe she should eat. Eventually
she
she
die?
died. Yeah.
because of too much human food?
No, that's not why. She was old. She was blind. She would get out and run across the street, and my parents put her
gosh.
down and didn't tell me. And I remember coming home and they told me, and I lost it because I didn't have a dog anymore. We did have a cat, which was at least helpful. So I went in and got to hug our cat at the time.
Wow. And give the cat all your vegetables.
No, cat didn't eat the vegetables. But there was, the truth is, I truly could not tell you what we were eating. I could not tell you what was going on. I don't even know how old I was. I just know that I was young and I did not want to eat whatever vegetables were on my plate.
Okay.
I didn't want to do it. My brothers had eaten and were able to get it from the table. My parents had gotten it from the table, and I was just sitting at the table crying because I did not want to eat these vegetables. Well, being the smart kid that I was like, everyone is somewhere else. They are not near the kitchen. The pantry where the trash can is right over there. So I moseyed my way over to the trash can and I dumped all my food in. I went back and sat at the table and I said, Mom and Dad, my food's all done. Can I get up? Actually, I don't even know that I sat on a table, but let me go back because I don't think I sat down at the table. I think they came into the kitchen and they were like, what are you doing up from the table? And I said, I'm done with my food. And I went and stood in front of the pantry door and said, I ate all my food, but don't look in here.
Yep. Wow.
And I think my mom laughed really hard. I don't know if I got in trouble, but I know my mom describes it as like she was trying really hard not to laugh at me because I was just standing in front and was like, don't look in here. I ate it all. I promise.
How old do you think you were?
Like 5 or 6. I think I was really young.
That's a little kid thing.
I don't even remember doing this. I know it because my mom and dad have told me so much and it's like the one story that they tell. And I'm totally okay with it, for the record, Mom and Dad. But it is the one story that like has stuck with me of like, yeah, it's a funny story that they tell and normally gets a lot of laughs.
Wow.
I don't think I told it well because I got lost at the end. But
it's good. But that's kid brain, you know, where you're like, I can get away with this.
Yep.
Brooklyn does it all the time. She doesn't understand like when either you and her or me and her are talking about something that's a surprise for the other parent. Yeah. She doesn't understand that when she goes, oh, we weren't talking about you, that it gives it away. She thinks that it like solidifies it as a sure thing.
Yeah. Or when you walk in her room and she's like, what? I'm not doing anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, obviously you were doing something because you wouldn't have said I wasn't doing anything if you weren't doing something. Doesn't mean you're going to get in trouble, but she just doesn't quite understand it yet.
It's good times. It's good times.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of your don't get up until you finish your food.
Yeah.
That actually is one of the unpopular opinions that many people voted on this week.
Well, let's get into it.
You want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
Right. So I believe I put maybe 12 up today, or excuse me, not today, this week.
That's great.
For people to vote on. So
I just want to say one thing. I'm happy to say, though, that I am a vegetable lover now, and I do eat all my vegetables, and rarely do I throw them away and tell you, don't look in here.
But when she does, she stands in front of the pantry.
I sit on top of the trash can.
It's a big giveaway.
Yeah.
Big giveaway. Okay, so I believe it's 12, but I broke them down into different categories.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you don't know Unpopular Opinions, we do it every week. So far, we've been doing it. And everyone has been not everyone, many people have been voting on it on my Instagram and getting to put their opinions.
So if you want your opinion to be heard, you can follow him at Sean Patrick DJ.
Yep, SEAN, Patrick DJ. That's everywhere that handle can be found.
Yep.
Unless it's not me on some weird thing, and don't trust that person. So I've got a few of them. So the first ones are actually polarizing opinions.
Okay.
They're unpopular opinions that turns out the vast majority of people...
50-50?
No. Polarizing in the sense that it went hard one way. Yes. Okay. So let me give you the first ones. As always, we're going to try to breeze through some of these until we get to the actual 50-50s.
Okay, I'm ready.
So here's our polarizing opinions.
Okay.
The first one is a person's past is not an excuse for bad behavior.
True.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I also understand that it's an influence.
Yeah, nature versus nurture.
Right. And like I get maybe why a person would act a certain way, but it's not an excuse to continue that behavior.
That's true.
So 89% of people agreed and 11% disagreed.
Yeah.
That was that one.
I think especially with the access that we have now to help, like therapy and stuff like that, like I think there's no excuse for someone continuing to have the same behavior. It's literally the definition of insanity, right?
Yeah.
Doing the same thing, expecting different results.
That's it.
So,
and that's the thing. My big thing on this one is that I agree that someone's past is a reason for certain behavior, but it's not an excuse to continue that behavior. Yes. The second one, polarizing opinion, no one should be shamed for not finishing their meal.
True.
This one was interesting because for a while it was 100%.
Like
Agreed.
true, yes, no one should be shaved. And then
Yes. And then it changed where a few people, it was 95 to 5%.
yeah, here's the deal. I think it depends. If we go to a buffet and you fill your plate with stuff and you don't eat all of your food, I'm like, I'm not going to shame you, but I'm like, you put the food on your plate.
Yeah.
You should eat it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think we just live in a different world and society where it's like you eat until you feel full.
And that's what we teach our kid.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I push her to eat her. Here's the deal. You never have to push her to eat vegetables or fruit. She's going to eat it every time.
Which is
sometimes
awesome.
it's the protein that I'm like, you just have to eat a little bit more.
Yeah. But here's the deal. Here's why I struggle with this one is because a lot of us were fed, if you can pardon the pun, you can't leave until you finish all your food.
Yeah.
Which then
made sense.
It makes sense in the like depression era mentality of like there's not a lot of food and you should be grateful and eat it.
Yeah, and here's the deal. There are some families that like really can't afford to buy a lot of food, and so it is like we're making food for people to eat, like eat what's on your plate, because like we might not have, I'm not saying we might not have food, but like there's not a lot of it. You know, we're using every dollar we have to make the family survive. And I'm not talking to you people because I understand.
Agreed. And look, if we had all of dinner in the center of the table and you just kept eating until you were full, that's different than someone serving you a plate of food
100%.
that you didn't determine the portions of.
It's hard to determine portions.
It is. Yeah. Everyone's different. And every person is different at different times of the day, depending on what your day has been like and how much you've had or haven't had.
We should normalize family style meals.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You lay them out on the table and people serve up.
Right. All right. I have more to say about that, but I'm going to keep going because we've got a lot.
I'm ready.
The next two, 3, apologizing should make you look strong, not weak. 97% of people agreed with that, and 3% disagreed. I can't figure out why you would disagree with that.
I agree with that apologizing should make you feel strong. My brain went to people that say stupid things, and I'm like, I don't care if you apologize. I don't think you're strong. I think you're stupid.
I think that maybe if people disagreed with this, it might be because they tend to be the people who apologize in a friendship or relationship and also get taken advantage of because they're always willing to apologize. Maybe. I could see that. But for me, if you've lived enough life and been harmed by people in a bad enough way, you'll get to a point where you realize that forgiving people is less about forgiving that person and more about the freedom that you get by letting it go. Go ahead.
Yes. Sorry, I want you to finish your thought.
I think apologizing is similar, like especially in a romantic relationship or even a paternal relationship with your kid. Apologizing and owning your mistakes is a great example for your kids and a healthy way to do relationships.
Yes. I think you just said, you kind of took the words out of my mouth a little bit. I think the reason why I had such a struggle, like saying yes or no right off the bat, is because I think anyone can apologize, but I don't think everyone can own up to their mistakes.
Oh, there's a big
I think
difference.
there's a difference. And so when you say apologizing makes you strong, I don't know that I agree with that, because a lot of people apologize with just to apologize. I think owning up to your mistakes and taking accountability and apologizing for that is very strong.
Yeah.
It takes a strong person. But I think anyone can apologize. I can be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Doesn't mean I mean it. I think there's a difference.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure.
I would say owning up for your mistakes and taking accountability is very strong, and I do agree with that.
All right. We'll leave it at that,
Okay.
because I'm sure that in future episodes, as we dig deeper into like the core of who we are rather than just the fun stuff, we'll get into what it means to have an authentic, genuine apology versus like, say sorry to your sister.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. So we'll get into that. Here's the fourth polarizing one.
Okay.
And this one was actually, it was 61% agreed, 39% disagreed.
Okay.
So it's more like a
getting closer.
runner-up. Yeah. So this one was overall, fast food breakfast kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There are a couple places that are good. I think we hit them already.
Yeah, so we'll save it. I don't know if it was this episode or the one before,
It was,
but I think we got it. So let me hit you with the runner-ups. There's
All right.
actually 5 runner-ups,
Okay.
so we'll run right through the ups.
Got it.
And then we've got 3 of the closest unpopular opinions.
I'm ready.
Here's the runners-up. Here's the runner-ups. I don't know how you say it. First, the years immediately after college are actually the best years of your life.
True.
So that would be age 22 to 27.
Yeah.
40% agreed, 60% disagreed. You think 22 to 27 are the best years of your life?
Well, I should say this. Were the best years of my life so far.
That sucks because you are not in
That's
that
not
age
true.
group now.
Yeah.
And I think things are pretty good.
We got married when I was in that age bracket.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we
I
didn't.
was like 26 or 27.
No,
I was not 28.
you were 28.
No way.
Maybe 20.
I'm old.
I think you were 27 because I was 30. And I think you're
Okay,
usually 2 years older.
Let me take it
younger.
back. Here's what happened in my brain. Can I
Okay.
walk you through? I went, yeah, like your younger years are not really great. Yeah, my years after, like during that time, were way better than the years before. And so I
That's
think
true.
that's why I answered yes so quickly. I think the real answer is, if I can take it all back and say my real answer is that I think your 30s are actually probably the best years. Honestly, whatever year of life you're in is probably the best year of your life.
That's my hope for everyone.
Yeah.
I hope right now is the best year of your life.
Yeah. Because that was better than my, whatever age group you said up to 27 was better than my high school years. And then 28 to now have been better than my previous years.
Yeah. And I will say that if you are one of the few people who yearn for the high school years and that was the best time of your life, I feel so sorry for you. And I hope you find joy. Because if you live 100 years, I hope that the 10 to 20% at the beginning wasn't the best of your life and the remaining 80% isn't as good. I hope that you find some joy.
Yeah.
All right.
Best is yet to come.
I want to talk about this next one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Because I'm not sure how you'll feel about it.
Okay, I really got to take a second.
You've had
about
these
it.
conversations with friends.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm nervous.
If you offer something to someone and they say no thanks, don't ask again or say, are you sure? Is that hitting home for you?
Yeah, but it's not offering.
For you, it's, are you okay?
Yeah, I am. If anyone knows what Enneagram is, I'm a 2 on the Enneagram, means I'm a helper. And by nature, I'm someone that I feel like I really pick up on the feelings of people in the room. I can normally tell when someone is like not doing okay or having a bad time. And I like lean towards those people. I used to have a friend who would always tell me, he was like, he's like, you know me better than anyone because there's something that happens when you look at me and you'll say, are you okay? And every time he would cry or be like, oh my gosh, I'm not okay. And like, talk to me about it. I'm just somehow really in tune to that. And so when there's something wrong, and I don't like people being mad at me. Like I really struggle with that. I'm a people pleaser. I want everyone to like me all the time. And I know that. I would ask all the time, like, are you okay? And boy, would it get me not in trouble, but Andy, she would always be like, I'm okay. Like, that's not the right question. I had to learn how to ask a different question to be like, hey, not are you okay? But like, do you need any help right now? Or is there something that's on your mind that's bugging you that you'd like to talk about? Is now a good time? Versus asking, are you okay? Because that's my go-to. Are you okay? And it's not me asking, are you okay? It's me trying to get a feel of the situation to be like, are we okay? Is everything like, is there something that's bugging you or annoying you or that's wrong? And how do I fix that? Because my everything in me, the essence of who I am, wants to help fix things and make it better.
Yeah.
Because I want everyone to be happy all the time and everyone to just be okay.
That's true. And
I don't remember what the question was. You have to ask me again, but that was my offshoot of life.
Yeah. And that part is the unhealth and codependent part that we both have. But the are you okay? That's like the stage 1 question. It's oftentimes not good enough to get at the problem or get the answer that you're looking for.
Yeah. But that is the question I would ask.
Yeah, but I think that's not a good question for people who might not even know what's going on with them.
And I had to learn that. And she
Yeah.
really helped me. To answer this question or to say like, you ask it again, something about, do you need anything?
If you offer something to someone and they say no thanks, don't ask again or say, are you sure? See, I actually disagree with this.
I think you got to feel it out with the person.
Well, it's weird because I agree with it, but I also disagree with it.
Yeah. If it's you and I go, I'm going to get myself some ice cream. Do you want some? And you say, no, thanks. Every time I'm going to be like, are you sure?
That's a great example because I could care less about that moment. For me, it is always I want people to be happy and enjoy themselves. I care less about getting ice cream.
Yeah, I know.
But if I pick up on the vibe like something's wrong with you, I will want to keep poking around to see what's going on.
For sure,
but like you said, it's about asking the right questions.
Yeah, and that wasn't asking about if someone's okay. That was asking can I get you something?
But
And
I
they
think
said
the
no
heart
thanks.
of it
Yes, I agree.
is if they say they're fine, don't.
It's people dependent.
It's
And
people
your
dependent.
relationship with that person dependent.
And if you're in a relationship not necessarily romantic, but if you're in a conversation with
Yeah.
someone who has passive aggressive tendencies, their answer to "Are you okay?" is
I'm fine.
always going to be some form of "I'm fine."
I'm okay.
It's
Yep.
fine. Yeah. And
It's fine.
and I've had to learn that that's not my problem.
Yeah.
I can ask better questions, but if it is continually met with nothing's wrong, that person on the other side, it's up to them to learn how to communicate their issues.
Yes.
If I've said something, not just "Are you okay?" but if I've said something like, "Hey, I'm picking up on just an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like maybe you're mad at me or you're having a hard time with
Mm-hmm.
something." And that's what I'm asking when I say, "Are you okay?" I'm really trying to check in to see, are we okay?
Yes.
Is something happening with you that's rubbed you the wrong way? And if if it's still met with, "I'm fine," that's not your problem anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That is unhealthy communication.
Unless
on the
it's
other
me,
side.
in which case, keep asking until I tell you the answer.
I will never stop. Okay, just a couple quick ones before we get to the real ones. Number 3, doorbell cameras like Ring should offer an add-on water cannon feature.
No.
No?
No.
Well, 73% said yes.
Yeah. How about a glitter confetti bomb?
Yes. No, we don't get a lot of
I'm just kidding.
people coming to our door.
I understand why you would want that. Don't need it now. Maybe when we don't live in like a gated area, it would feel different.
Uh-huh.
But right now I'm like, no, I don't need that.
Yeah. All right. So we'll jump past that one real quick.
Okay.
But yes, Ring, have a little squirt gun feature. Next, college does hardly anything to actually prepare you for your career.
Yes,
You agree?
I agree.
I agree with that too. There's
And
certainly
so does
exceptions.
society at times.
Yeah. I think that formal education, the way that it is in the U.S. currently, does very little to prepare you for the real world, including your jobs.
Yeah.
When you get done with high school,
Depending on the job.
yeah, and if you're going to a trade school, that's a different thing.
Yeah, but if you're becoming a doctor, like there's a lot of like technical stuff that you have to learn that
Totally.
you learn in school for sure. If you're going into advertising, it's great that you got to take math and science and history again in college because that totally helps with that. Freaking hate college.
Yeah, there's a lot of like
little bitter.
general, yeah, I know, gen eds and stuff that I think are ridiculous. Well, 65% agreed
That you don't need college?
doesn't do much.
It doesn't. And I've said it. I know there's other ones, but I'll say it again. And society can't agree either because it goes back and forth between we'll hire you if you have like a bachelor's degree or higher, or and between that and saying like you need life experience. Like what jobs have you worked for? You haven't worked any jobs. It doesn't matter that you have a bachelor's degree. Like you can't work in this job or you start at the bottom. It's like, what's the point of college? Can't it be better? Can't it be a mix of like, we're going to teach you like the skills you need while also allowing you to have internships at the same time that give you experience? Why is it that I had took AP, I'm very bitter, can you tell? Took AP courses in high school.
Yeah.
And then I had to take those same stinking classes in college. Like, what was the point? When am I ever going to use algebra with what I'm doing?
Yeah, I agree.
Never. When am I going to use chemistry in the field that I chose? I get it, taking those things if you're choosing to be in the field that requires you to have that knowledge. But if you're passionate about writing, then why do you have to learn how to do math or or learn about history?
I do think that there's basic building blocks that everyone needs.
100%. You learn that in high school. That's what that's for.
Yeah, reading, writing,
Primary
basic,
school, yeah.
yeah, math, science, spelling,
Yes.
all that kind of stuff. But some of this stuff is nonsense. So anyway, I do agree with that.
Sorry.
The last one before we get into the
Long-winded
official ones. Ooh, I don't know if there's an ice cream truck. Should we go?
Should we go?
Should we
Yeah.
go? We'll be
looks
right
janky.
back. Yeah. Every ice cream truck I've seen in the last 10
good.
years looks like you're about to get kidnapped. All right. Number 5 in the runner-ups. Feet are gross. And there are many places where people should not have their feet exposed.
I mean, I live in California, so feet are exposed all the time. I'm sorry, I don't agree. Feet are weird, yes, but it's just another part of the human body.
Well, 68% of people thought that feet are gross and should not be exposed in most places.
It's not. If that was true, there wouldn't be things like,
Feet finder?
yeah,
Maybe that's why there's things like that.
probably. But anyways, feet are feet.
We've had our feet
Hands are
showing.
hands.
So when we're in the studio, since there is a baby that is often around in the building, we take our shoes off because the baby crawls on the floor.
Yeah.
Not in here, but we still take our shoes off. But
'Cause
there
we're
are
upstairs,
definitely episodes of this show where we don't have anything on our toesies.
Yeah, like right now. I just showed you my feet.
Yeah, wow.
Keep
Just
going.
blur them out.
I'm ready.
All right. We've officially made it not only past what I'm assuming when we edit it down is past the 1 hour mark. So hopefully you're enjoying a boatload of content, but we have made it to our official top 3 unpopular opinions. The way that we choose these, and by we I mean me, because Kelly's never heard any of them.
Never.
Is that I pick the
First
ones
time.
that are the closest in terms of voting.
And I don't look at his story when he posts them on Instagram either. I'm very intentional about it.
It's true.
I like to be surprised.
It's true. So these are the top 3 closest unpopular opinions.
I'm ready.
Number 1, realtors make way too much money.
Yes.
I agree.
What do they do?
I don't know. It's not that
Show you
hard.
a bunch of houses that you
Yeah.
don't want to see
But let me tell you,
after you told them what you want, and they
And they
still
show
show
you
you
something
houses
totally
that is
different.
not what you want.
55% agreed, 45% disagreed.
Those are all realtors.
I have a lot of realtors come to this show to hear about the market trends. Look, I think it's an astronomical amount of money. To be fair, many people say what I do, maybe even what we do, we get paid too much as
No,
well.
we're entertaining people.
Yes, we're not trying to sell you a house. But if you're interested, don't come to us.
Don't come to us.
55 to 45. So that was very, very polarizing. Is that what I mean? It was very, very split.
Close. Yeah.
Next, number 2, brushing your teeth before breakfast is really weird.
I'd like to defer to Saman. on this
Well,
one. I'm
I'll
just
tell
kidding.
you, Saman texted me directly and said, hard disagree.
That you should wait. What she disagreed that you should not.
She disagreed that brushing your teeth before breakfast is really weird.
Yeah, it's because she's a dental hygienist, and she also doesn't drink coffee, which I think is a big part of it. Because
Yeah.
for coffee drinkers, if you brush your teeth before, number one, there's a time frame. I don't know if you know this. I don't know what it is, but you're supposed to wait a certain amount of time before you, if you brush your teeth, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you drink coffee. And the opposite is true. If you drink coffee, you're supposed to wait a certain amount of time before you brush your teeth. It's like a half hour.
You're supposed to, or it's going to taste like trash?
No, you're supposed to because it affects your enamel. Because what's in coffee can help break that down. And if you brush your teeth or vice versa, like it
Science
does
and
affect
science.
it.
Yeah.
It really does. I've looked it up. It's true. So, but she doesn't drink coffee. She's a tea drinker or a water drinker. And so I don't think. I think it's different. Like I said, no one wants to drink coffee after brushing your teeth because it tastes like
No.
really, really weird.
Yeah.
You and I, and sorry, Saman, you and I are people that drink our coffee, eat a little breakfast, and then brush our teeth.
Yeah, and then go
And
out into the
Brooklyn
world.
does that too.
Yeah, for 2 reasons. Because 1, I don't want to mess up my coffee taste. 2, I don't want to brush my teeth, then go eat breakfast and coffee and go out into the world with breakfast and coffee breath. And 3, I don't have a third. I just had 2.
Well, and 3, if you did it both, the mixing of that would be brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, brushing your teeth, and how much toothpaste would you go through?
Yeah, 3, what she said. How much toothpaste do you have?
All of the toothpaste. But yeah, so I don't, unless you're going out to eat breakfast somewhere,
Oh, yeah, that's
brush
different.
your teeth beforehand. Don't leave the house without brushing your teeth, friends.
100%.
It's not okay.
100%. Also, if you're drinking coffee in the morning, don't let it run over the front of your teeth. Don't drink something and let coffee go over the beautiful white teeth that you have to make them brown and corroded.
Use a straw if you want.
Or just let it run over your tongue. I try not to let any drinks touch my teeth except for water.
It's great, babe.
Thank you.
It's impressive.
I need a trophy. Third and final unpopular opinion, and this one is going to be tough for you. People overreact to bees and wasps.
False.
58% agreed with me and 42% disagreed.
Yeah,
Now, again, these are not my unpopular opinions. I put these together, but 58% agree that people overreact to bees and
Here's
wasps.
the deal. I do think that people overreact to wasps. I am one of them. And I do think that I overreact. And I've been actively working to not, and I don't think I react as strongly as some people do. Like we were just at a walkthrough of a venue somewhere and someone like freaked out and like hid behind you. I followed suit because she did, but I didn't.
You did it too.
But listen, but I did not run I did not run away and do that. I do walk away or move away or try to, but I'm really actively trying hard not to overreact. I have only ever been stung. We talk about this all the time. I've only ever been stung by a bee once. And I hear that you have to be stung twice in order to find out if you're allergic. I would not like to find that out. And my dad is like deathly allergic to wasps, like really allergic. I've never been stung by a wasp, so I have no idea if I'm allergic to it, nor have I gotten in one of those allergy tests that tell you. Nor do I think that's on the allergy test to tell you if you're allergic to wasps. I don't know.
Peanuts, dairy, wasps.
Waspy, I don't know. But I have a fear of them. And when I was younger, I had a best friend who lived across the street from us that had a pool. We'd go swimming there all the time. It's where I learned how to swim. And for many summers in a row, she got stung by a bee while being next to me. And so there's this really weird fear where I'm like, they're just attracted to me. They land in my hair all the time. It's just, I think I react appropriately to not wanting to be stung or bitten by a wasp or a bee.
So you disagree? You don't think they overreact?
I think
you think it's
people.
appropriate.
I think people overreact in the same way that people overreact to spiders. I think it's just a thing. I think it's an irrational fear that people have, and I think people react the way that they feel fit. If you are not scared of bees, more power to you. I wish I had that. I don't have that quality. I'm terrified, and I wish I wasn't scared of spiders. I too am terrified, and have like literally given myself scars from trying to get away from spiders.
Yeah, go ahead and tell that story.
And yeah.
No, I mean, go ahead and tell the story. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I was growing up at my parents' house, we had a really small shower, really small. It doesn't matter the size. It was a shower, like a square shower. And there was a spider. I was in the shower washing my hair and I saw a spider in the top corner of the shower and then proceeded to move away in my tiny shower away from that spider and hit my foot down so hard that it hit a tile and it cut it and it started bleeding. And I have a scar on the bottom of my foot from where I cut it because I was so scared that the spider was going to come down into the water, into my hair and bite me. It's irrational. I know it. Doesn't mean that I'll stop freaking out when I see spiders or bees. No.
So what you need to know is that Kellie has scars from things that she's afraid of, like spiders.
Both
and scars
physical
from things that she
and
loves,
emotional.
like cats.
Yeah. But my scars are both like physical scars and like emotional scars.
Yeah. That's deep.
Terrified of spiders.
Now we've got.
I will never go to Australia because of it. Even though I want to go, I won't.
You're going to go to Australia. We're going to go to Australia.
You've already been. I don't want to go.
I have been. And I don't recall seeing any spiders because we stayed at a normal hotel in Sydney, not in the outback.
That's good. I just know that I've seen them in toilets and boys don't have to sit down to use the toilets, but girls do. And I'm terrified. They're not small spiders. They're like tarantula size.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just not about it.
No, I'm not here for it. Visor spiders, have you heard of those?
They are in your car.
In your sun visor.
Yeah. And you pull it down and then they're there.
And they jump on you.
And they're in where? Where are they?
Australia.
Yeah. So why aren't we going to go there?
We're not.
Take me to Egypt instead. I don't know. There's probably spiders there too, but.
I bet Egypt has scary spiders too.
Yeah. Anyways.
Moving on. Sorry for those of you who hate bees, wasps, or spiders.
I do
you had
too,
to listen to our 10 minutes on it. All right, we got some stories and then we'll wrap it up.
Sure.
You ready for some stories?
Yeah.
So stories are the part of the show that we find some of the weirdest, funnest, oddest stories of the week and bring them to you. Why? Because they're entertaining. Why? Because it gives you something to talk about when you're doing small talk with people.
If we haven't given you enough stuff to talk about.
Exactly. That's
give
what
you
this is
more.
for. This is just content for you to repurpose in your actual lives. First story is this. Man stopped by U.S. police for driving with huge bull in passenger seat.
Did you say bull or bowl?
I would love if this story was a man with a huge bowl. Just a bowl.
For the people at home, because they were real close.
Oh my gosh. No, a huge bull in his passenger seat. For some reason,
What was its name?
Howdy Doody.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. 100% honest.
A one
my
hundo
gosh.
P.
Howdy doody here.
Police in Nebraska were shocked after they pulled over a man for driving on a motorway with a huge Watusi bull in the passenger seat. The enormous black and white bull with large horns, named Howdy Doody, was found standing with most of its body sticking outside the modified small white car as it traveled down the highway. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Why was he traveling with it? I want to know.
Can you see that?
I can.
He
He's
was
tied down, just like you would tie a dog. I don't think you can actually travel with a dog in the back of your car.
I don't think you can travel with a bull in the front seat of your car.
Why was he traveling with this?
It says, well, I'll give you a few more details. It says the passenger side door had been replaced with a metal barred guardrail that's usually found in cattle enclosures.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The officer chose to write him a warning and asked him to take the animal back home and leave the city. This dude didn't even get a ticket.
Lucky him.
He was taking it to some fair or something. And I'm sure I'll post the picture somewhere. The horns on this thing are huge. And on the center of this car, there's bull horns on there
see
too.
it.
It's gigantic.
Well, howdy doody. I hope you had a great time at the fair.
Oh my gosh, some people, and I bet he was like, "This is going to be awesome."
Oh my gosh.
Sure,
he
I
probably
have
didn't
a
have
bull
a car
trailer.
big enough to take.
He had to have a trailer.
You
Who
don't know.
has a bull with no trailer?
You don't know. This guy.
This guy in Nebraska.
Howdy doody.
Howdy doody. Okay, so that was the first one. Here's another one.
Okay.
This one's a quick one. Second story of the week. Man with 3 parrots wanted for robbery in Fairfax County.
Did the parrots turn him in?
Not yet. He's still.
It was him. That's pretty good.
It was Carl.
We robbed a bank.
So here's a picture of allegedly Carl. It's not
His
great.
parrots are with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me give you the deets, baby.
Oh my gosh.
It says that detectives say they're on the lookout for a man with 3 parrots, last seen wearing a black cowboy hat.
Yeah, big one.
Oh yeah, and
It's probably
let's
a
just
Stetson.
say a hat on a hat. Like you can have one thing. You can't have a big black cowboy hat
With 3.
and 3 parrots. You either got to be the 3 parrot guy or the black cowboy hat guy.
You need the big cowboy hat to hold the 3 parrots.
I guess so.
That's what's happening.
So here's what it says. The man is accused of robbing a McDonald's restaurant at Knife
McDonald's?
Point. Yeah, that's where all the parrots go.
He's the hamburglar. Coming to take your hamburgers. I don't know.
Now,
Call
this
back.
Spot on hamburglar impression and a good callback. So he was robbing a McDonald's at Knife Point in Washington, D.C. Officers
What a
said,
terrible choice. Knife, really, guys?
I know. Come on. It's 2023.
Actually, I don't like guns, so
No,
it's fine.
but they're
Anyways.
readily available. Officers said surveillance video from a nearby business showed the man appeared to be between the ages of 28 and 32, had tattoos, and 3 parrots. They really buried the lead there.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
did.
I don't know. He's like, late 20s, Caucasian male, 3 parrots. If you've seen him,
Maybe.
he also wore a black cowboy hat. I don't know.
Oh my god.
But it says he's has still not been apprehended, so they'll be keeping you updated on the developing story.
What did he steal from McDonald's?
I'm assuming a
Money?
McDouble, some chicken nuggets.
I want a McDouble.
Wow, that was a good hamburglar.
It's not a hamburger. I'm a parrot.
You're a parrot burglar.
Oh my god.
Okay. So that was the quick one because this next one is freaking gross.
Oh my gosh.
If you are squeamish,
Don't listen. I don't know
if
what
you
it
are
is.
pregnant, if you are prone to seizures.
Really? No.
No, but this is all the stuff you have to read before getting on a roller coaster.
Yeah. Please keep all hands, arms inside the vehicle at all times.
Nice. Second career. Here's the story.
Mm-hmm.
Headline is, "Oh my God. Live worm found
No.
in Australian
Nope.
woman's brain
Nope.
in world's first discovery."
This is almost as bad as the tendon coming out of the nipple story.
This is right up there.
Yeah.
Here's the worm.
Is it like a tapeworm?
I'll tell you exactly
I want to know what
it
it is. And how big is that? Because is that like a container that you like pee in? Is that's the
Yep.
size of it?
So a woman complained of forgetfulness and depression before doctors pulled an 8-centimeter roundworm from her brain. The surgeon said it was still alive and wiggling.
Was it eat? So it's eating her brain.
I don't know what it was eating, but there's not much else up there.
Okay, so tell me more.
It says it's the world's first case of a roundworm in human brains because they're usually found in pythons. Yes.
Is she half python?
No, but I'll tell you where
Okay.
the pythons come into play. It's believed that the woman got the parasite from a python that had shed the worm and its eggs into the grass around her house. And this woman is the type of person that goes out and cuts grass and uses it in her cooking. So it's believed that she brought it in, cooked food, and ate it with the roundworm or
Gross.
roundworm
And it was still
eggs.
alive, which I'm just saying is really weird that you would cook it and it would still be alive. It must be the eggs didn't die.
It must have been. Now, thankfully, they got this worm out of her brain. The woman is currently recovering well, and she is being monitored. So she's alive, but an 8-centimeter roundworm.
And also, what do you use grass for in your cooking?
I don't know. They kept referring to it as like long grass or something like that. I don't know.
Like I'm thinking like the wellness shots you can take it like Jamba Juice when
Yeah,
they like
what
cut
do they
the
call
grass.
those
and
grass
they-
shots? Like
They might be grass shots, yeah.
Yeah,
But
those are
that's
gross
what I'm
too.
thinking of. That's the only thing I could think of, which wouldn't be cooking it. It would be juicing it.
That would probably kill any eggs too.
I don't know.
Look.
Not this one. That's insane. So
yeah.
it caused memory loss.
Memory loss, depression, obviously headaches and the like.
Yeah, because this thing was growing in your head for who knows how long. 8 centimeters worth of life.
It is friggin' gross.
Glad they got it out. Hope you recover. Don't know who you are. But
Seriously.
sending speedy recovery vibes.
Yeah, and stop cooking with outdoor grass from
Or
your
clean
yard.
it better. I don't know.
Because apparently that grass that she lives is like right next to a lake, and pythons like hang in that grass.
So wash your grass or just grow grass in your house.
Or
I don't know.
freaking move, dude.
Like, I don't know.
You don't need to live next to tapeworms, roundworms, and pythons.
No.
Freaking gross.
So weird.
That's all the stories I got, girl.
Well, those are great stories. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks for listening.
What are you looking forward to this next week?
We got a lot of stuff coming up. You've got a concert tomorrow night.
Yep. Beyonce.
You see Beyonce. I've got that commercial shoot that I'm
That's
doing.
my catchphrase. Ooh, ooh. Sorry.
I've got I'm shooting
Commercial.
that commercial that we'll talk more about next
Yep.
week, probably.
Going to lunch with Lindsay to try one of the new sandwiches at her restaurant.
A pimento sandwich.
Cheese sandwich. I'll report back.
Yeah, I'm a little
I don't know.
skeptical.
We're doing dinner with Troy and Craig.
Yeah. So many shout outs these last 2 episodes.
And then we
for
get
you
our kid
guys.
back.
We get our kid back. We also have a photo shoot coming up with our
Jilly,
friend Jilly Tarts, who's great. And then depending on when this episode comes out, we're going to be heading to Orlando for work soon, but we're also
Work and play.
Work and play. We're going to be out there. Kelly's going to be stage managing. I'm going to be hosting. And then we have some of our girlfriends coming out to go to Disney World with us.
Yep. So this is the point of the podcast. We work hard to hardly work.
Yeah, we work hard and play hard.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah, we work hard and we play an appropriate amount.
Yeah.
We don't play hard.
Yeah.
But if you have any...
When I go to Epcot, I'm going to play hard.
Yeah,
But
we are.
If you have any recommendations for us at Disney World, we'll take it. Text me,
right.
DM us, send it in to hardlyworkingfans@gmail.com. We're here for it.
And that's it. We got a doubly long episode, 2 episodes for
Yep.
you. We love you. Thank you for listening, commenting, subscribing, sharing with your friends. All that stuff that we always say means the world to us. And thank you so much because we did not anticipate this type of growth at the beginning of the show. Thank you to the hundreds of people who are listening to the full podcast, the tens of thousands of people who are watching our clips online. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
We hope that we're adding some fun, lighthearted joy into your life week by week.
Hopefully.
We'll see you back here next week. That's it for now.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.